Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. My name is Joeythejag, and today I'm going to do a movie review of The Odyssey. The Odyssey is based on a long story, a historical Greek mythological story of the story of Odysseus going from the Trojan War all the way to his home of Ithaca to return to his beloved Penelope. And that has been the story from years and years. And people have reinvented it, people have readapted it, people have redone it in cartoons, in different types of movies. In fact, there is a writing plot point of how writers use the Odyssey as a way to write because it helps them to establish, beginning, middle, and end of a story. They call it the hero's journey. And a lot of people use that method of writing to tell stories because of the Odyssey. So you can thank the Odyssey for a lot of things. Now, Christopher Nolan's take on the Odyssey, however, is a modern take of the Odyssey. And with that said, you can tell right off the bat that there's going to be a divide. And when there is a huge divide of people, that means there's going to be a group of people that are not going to care for this, and a group of people that are not going to like this, but another group of people that are going to love this. I'm going to go more from a point of view of this as a person that went into seeing the movie and what I thought about it, the good, the bad, and I'm going to give you a score at the end. So let me give you the good. Matt Damon as Odysseus is actually good. He's one of the best characters in there. And his story, trying to get back to Annie Hathaway's Penelope's character, is amazing. I like their talking. I like their promise and vow to each other. She has so much faith in Odysseus. He's like, if I go to war, I might not come back. And she's like, oh, but you're going to come back. You're going to come back. You're going to come back. If you don't come back, I'm going to grab you and make you come back, right? So that's Penelope, And so Odysseus tells Penelope, if I don't come back, you need to remarry. Because if you don't remarry, there's going to be invaders that are going to invade the kingdom and they're going to take over. You need to remarry so that invaders won't come around the kingdom, right? So Penelope goes, that won't happen. He said, promise me. So she gives him a pin of her. It's like a symbol of Athena, who's played by Zendaya. And it's a symbol of Athena, who is the goddess of wisdom, right? And, he puts the pin on his sleeve, right? And it says, wear this. This will be remembering me. So when you see this, you will remember me and where you come from, right? And that plays later on in the film. And so that's basically the whole love thing is Odysseus trying to return back to Penelope because there is real stakes here. The real stakes is love. Love on the line, the heart on the line, lessons to be learned. And in order for Matt Damon, Odysseus, to learn these hard truths, he must overcome them in order to return home. If not, he's going to die. And that's basically the story here in how Christopher Nolan was trying to portray this. So there are suitors here waiting to marry Penelope. They want to marry her. And Robert Pattinson as Tinuus is absolute gold. He's such a good villain in this. He's just some sneaky, sniveling, charming guy. He's trying to weave his way in there to try and bang her up so he can get a son so they can take over the kingdom so he can kill her and then rule the kingdom, basically. That's his goal. He's such a snivelly, but I like his character because he just feels real. One of the things about this film is they feel real. And I think you're going to go into this happy knowing that Christopher Nolan made a serious film. There's no jokes. There's no humor. There's no, that's funny. It's a serious movie. There's serious moments. And there's a lot of scary moments too. There's like that thing where they fight against the Cyclops. There's a thing where they go up against the Siren's Call. There's also like this tentacle monster grabbing characters because they're trying to avoid this whirlpool. And you got a lot of people here trying to stop them from getting home. And you got, Calypso, played by Charles Theron, who is talking to Matt Damon, Odysseus' character, and they're like some type of limbo, and it is cool. You got John Bernthal, Menelaus, who tells a story of how Odysseus won the Trojan War and how it happened with the whole horse thing, and how Sinon, instead of Elliot Page playing Achilles, he's portraying Sinon, and I think it suits the character better because Sinon is not part of the original text of the Odyssey. Achilles is, but Sinon is replaced for this particular role for, I believe, Elliot Page, because it's Elliot Page. Why not? And I think that he did the job well. Sinon is a good character because it kind of overarcs. There's a lot of overarching elements in this film that kind of goes from here to here to here to here, because there's some choppy moments, but it goes back to those moments later on. You get to see what happens, and then it moves on, and then you go back to those moments. You get to see those moments, so it's back and forth, back and forth. He did that thing. Christopher Nolan has done that thing on stuff like the Dark Knight trilogy. He's done that a lot. And also Inception, he's done that a lot. So he's done this kind of trope in a lot of ways to make sure the audience is paying attention. He does this kind of way of filming so that you are understanding what's happening, and you go, oh, wait, are we going to see that later on, or that's done? And then your brain starts saying, wait, we never found out what happened to Sinon. Like, whatever happened to him, right? And so we find out what happened to him and this and that. So many of the elements are in here that make the Odyssey good. However, there's a lot of stuff that's taken out from the book. Not everything is in the Odyssey is in this film. There's a lot of stuff taken out. And I know people are not going to like that, but it makes sense. This is a 3-hour film. And for all we know, they could have added more elements in an extended version. It could have probably been 4 hours, maybe even another 5 hours, but 3 hours is a lot. And there were some times where I was falling asleep, not going to lie, because there were some talking moments, and I wasn't the only one. There was like a group of girls down the row, and they were all like snoring. There was like 2 guys down the row from me, and their heads were like this, like that. And then when there was an action scene, they're like moving and looking around, right? And I was falling asleep. I had my popcorn and my drink, and I had my drink like this. I was like this, and I was like falling asleep. I was like that. I was like, I'm not asleep. And then action, and what happened? I'm like, oh. And they're like, oh no, they're still talking. I was like, what's going on? And it's just the ambient music. You know what I'm saying? Like, Christopher Nolan loves doing these like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's like a scene with Telemachus, who is Tom Holland, who is Odysseus' son, is trying to grab the weapons from this other dude because he's throwing them down to Robert Pattinson's group of suitors who are trying to marry Penelope, and they're fighting. I'm like this. I'm like, oh my gosh! Like, can you like? I was gonna tell like the projector person in the movie theater, can you like turn that off? Can you turn that off? I mean, you can't, because it's in the movie. You can't do nothing about that. So, I mean, I like ambient music. I like the sounds that are in the movies, but sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, those whole, like, boom, and you're trying to hear what they have to say. You're trying to, what are they saying? What are they saying? Can you rewind that, projector guy? Can you rewind that? That's what was happening here. And unfortunately, that was kind of the thing that pushed me back. The other thing was, a lot of the elements in this film were portrayed a certain way. For example, Sinon is not Achilles. Sinon is a different character who was supposed to go into the Trojan War, but Robert Pattinson actually tricks Sinon, who is actually Robert Pattinson's actual like supposed to go to war. Instead, they chose Sinon to go to war, and all this stuff. There was so much stuff. Like Helen of Troy has a sister, and there was this guy in the middle who went into the entrance. He had this armor, and he was like Sinon's father, and he was going to go in there, and they invaded, and he was going to be the king, and what happened to him? He got basically. So that happened. So a lot of cool moments happened, but there's a lot of a lot of moments that just fell down a little bit for me, and that was the music, some of the story element changes from the book in this. Like, not there's so many things taken out. I really wanted to see more stuff. I wanted to see, there's so many monsters and creatures in the Odyssey that we didn't get to see. I wanted to see the mermaids, the evil mermaids trying to attack them. So many things they were taken out. Instead, it was given a much more pass, enough paddle. It was still good. It was still a good film to watch, but I feel like we should have been treated to something special, something truly, truly special. This just felt like Noah, the movie with Russell Crowe. It was an adaptation of Noah's Ark, but it was like readapted to fit like more of a modern take on Noah. It was similar to that. That's what I felt when it came to the Odyssey. Now, was the Odyssey bad? No, it was good. I think it was 10 times more good than what people were saying it was going to be. Now, here is the final verdict and the score I'm going to give this film. I'm going to give the Odyssey a 7 out of 10. And the reason why I'm going to give it a 7 is, again, the noise. It just got in the way of talking. There was some important information from characters that I just went over my head. The other thing is the music. We're just overcrowding important action moments, and I was pushed out of the moments when the music wasn't hitting properly in certain moments in the film. And then the final thing, the thing that really, really pushed me back was the portrayal of the characters. It's just, I feel like Odysseus deserved to be a much better preeminence in the story. And I didn't really care for his crew. Like, I didn't care if they died or not. I know that sounds sad, but it's the truth. I did not care. And I only cared for maybe 2 characters because he shared a lot of screen time with Matt Damon's character. But when other characters died, like, there were some moments where, like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, but I wasn't like, oh, I felt bad for that person. Oh, I felt bad for that person. Oh, I didn't care too much about his fleet, really. It would have been cool to get to know more of the characters. And then when they die, you felt something, but I didn't feel anything. And maybe it's just me. Maybe you check it out yourself and find out what I meant. But yeah, anyways, that's pretty much it for the review. Have you seen the Odyssey? What do you think about it? Please let me know in the comments down below. Have you seen the Odyssey? Let me know. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Have a good day.